Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
Today we are talking about I Am Celine Dion, the Celine Dion documentary that she did. I thought it was very interesting. My heart breaks for her.
Oh my God.
Well, let me tell you something. If you watched that and you didn't cry or tears welled up in your eyes when she had that attack.
Totally agree with you.
There's something wrong with it.
Totally agree with
And
you.
I am not a big Celine Dion fan.
Right.
I never was. But I found this very almost relaxing to watch. It's totally different than Bon Jovi. Totally different than J-Lo's nonsense.
Right.
I thought it was very heartfelt and sincere. And I think that, not that I think that she's always been a great person. I think that you can get caught up in that celeb life. But I think she's been kind of humbled.
Yes.
By different experiences. And
yeah.
So I was not expecting to enjoy it or like it.
Right.
I did.
I definitely liked it. And I too was not a huge Celine Dion fan, but it's so funny because I thought this when I went to the Billy Joel concert. I'm not a huge Billy Joel fan. I knew every word to every song he sang. And I felt the same way. Like, they didn't play a lot of her music in this, but every song they played, I'm like, I knew every word to every song. And she really is extremely talented. And the only thing I will say, and it's only, I wish we saw more of her and her husband and their love story. However, I understand that wasn't the point of this documentary. The point of this documentary was to highlight her illness and shed light on it. So I'm sure there's something else out there that I can watch to show her love story with her husband, because I really, truly believe they were in love. And her sons are adorable.
Yeah.
And she seems like a great mom. Yeah.
I applaud her for allowing them to film it and to show it and to show up on camera without makeup. I mean, there was, before we watched this a couple weeks ago, Hoda Kotb did an interview with her, which I watched that as well. And she walked around her house and she was, there, and she was talking about that. Very rarely do you find a celebrity that goes without makeup like that and gives you the real behind the scenes of what's going on.
And she's aging gracefully.
Absolutely.
She's not Botoxed and fillered and facelifted up.
No, she seems to be very authentic.
Yes.
At least that's how she
Yes. I mean, she's French, right?
She's from Quebec.
She's not from here. Yeah. So that makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
It makes a huge difference in what?
That she's a more authentic person. I think that the celebrities that are American celebrities are just a different breed, I feel.
Yeah. I agree with that. I would definitely agree with that.
No shade. I mean, I'm American, and I don't know how I'd be as a celebrity. I'll never know. But I'm just saying, she seems like a very authentic person, and she's aging gracefully, and God bless her for it.
Yeah.
And I will say that I am a huge Celine Dion fan, and I saw her in Caesars in 2007 at her residency there. I think it was me and my girlfriend Linda. It's when I went to Las Vegas to launch the Tough It. So it was me and Bill and Matthew. And Bill stayed with Matthew so that Linda and I could go watch Celine Dion. And It was magnificent. Like, she really puts on a show. And when she was doing this documentary, how she was talking about her crew and all the people that she plays with, how they're family, you could tell that's how it was when you were there watching her.
Yeah, I actually have that written down, that she speaks so highly of her band and her bandmates.
Yeah. And it's not just them. It's everyone that makes that show happen. Everyone that makes Celine Dion who she is. She's surrounded by really great people that she calls family.
And she even said that about her costume designer when she was talking about the sleeves and adding the white at the bottom with the snaps. Yeah, like, she's like, people had to think this out. Like, for her to appreciate that was very nice.
Yeah, it's very much along the lines of the Bon Jovi, too. I feel like he's the same kind of very driven, very dedicated artist that really, they're only going to perform if they can perform to the best of their,
and appreciates every person that contributes even the tiniest bit
to make them who they are.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That I agree upon.
So only 1 or 2 in 1,000,000 people can
Yeah.
get this disease?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to look and see like what is the prognosis for this type of.
Oh, I didn't either.
I didn't look up the prognosis either. But she definitely has her whole medical team working with her.
Yeah, thank God.
But it's neurological.
Yeah.
It's neurological, and honestly, anything neurological, it's hard to say because everyone is so different.
Yeah, and so they said it's your muscles rebelling against your body.
Right. So after she, kind of jumping to the end, but after she did that big where she was singing, that's when she went into when we saw her really serious
And she
crisis.
was just recording in a studio.
Yeah, but she was pushing herself.
Yes.
And it was the adrenaline going in her body, pushing herself that causes
for her to get on stage would be disastrous for her.
It would be. And she was saying when she did the Hoda Kotb interview, and she kind of mentioned it in this one a little bit, like this has been going on since I think back in 2007. Like this has been going on for such a long time, and she would at points where she felt her voice wasn't as strong as it could be, she'd put the microphone out for the audience to sing.
It has been. I have written down 17 years ago she started suffering from voice spasms.
Yes.
And that was the beginning. So yes, right. 2007.
And they didn't know that was the whole problem, is they didn't know what it was, and then it's all of a sudden it started affecting her entire body because it's stiff person syndrome.
Yeah. So
it starts out that even as a young girl, they showed the video of her as a very young girl. She dreamed of being an international star. Now that's kind of what happened with Bon Jovi too. You know, even as a young kid, this was his dream and he did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Well, I also too, there's the factor there of her mother. I mean, maybe if her mother wasn't, I think there's a lot of factors there. She was unexpected as the last child. She was a mistake.
Of 13.
One of 13, yeah.
She was not, her mother was getting ready to go back to work and have a life and be done with babies. So I think there was always, Celine knew that, so I always think she wanted to please her mother. Her mother definitely wanted to be famous herself and kind of pushed Celine into, that was her mother's thought process, is that Celine was going to be the one. She was going to be a star. She was going to be. So I think it was a combination of growing up in a household that was always filled with music. Her parents owned some restaurants, favorite restaurant, and the whole family would sing in the restaurant. The first time she sang was at her brother's wedding when she was 5 years old, like really performance singing. So I think there were a lot of factors into.
Yeah, but she definitely wanted it. It's not like it's not like it wasn't a dream of hers too.
Right.
And that's the thing, to get to this level that she's at. You have to really want it, because you're not living someone else's dream doing this. You have to.
No.
And even the fact that she's still trying to get she doesn't need this. She doesn't need this. I mean, she's already done.
I think that, like she said, her voice always led her.
Right.
So she followed it where it brought her. So now to not have it, it's like it's like losing a limb, God forbid. It's you have to relearn how to live without this, and she's not ready to do that.
It was the same thing with Bon Jovi, right? He had the same issue.
I was thinking that as I was watching this.
The same issue. It's so much.
I mean, hers is much worse, obviously.
Yeah. It's so much part of their identity that it must be very difficult to not have it.
Yeah, I mean,
but she said, for her, it's not necessarily about the adulation. It's about the connection with fans, and it's that singing actually brings her joy.
Yeah,
100%. You could see that. You could see that in her face when she was trying to sing and she couldn't get it. She was just so disappointed that she couldn't do what she was able to do at one time.
Yeah,
and we said it. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it's just
very
heartbreaking.
Sad.
I mean, back in 2020 is where she got to the point where she couldn't walk. She was losing her balance. And I believe it was 2021 is when she made the announcement. she canceled the tour because she wasn't able to perform.
Well, she was on stage, right? And left to go do an outfit change and never went back out.
Well, because she felt it coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
you know, and even, I guess maybe at that point, they're now they have more information and now they can kind of find out what's going on. But prior to that, she was saying she was canceling tours and she kept saying it was a sinus infection. It was this, it was that. And she's like, I don't like lying. These people spend this money to come see me and they travel to come see me. And, you know, it's not even about, she doesn't want to disappoint the fans.
Right, but she probably had a whole team of people behind her being like, you can't say this, you have to say this.
Well, I don't think they knew either.
Right, exactly.
At
That's
point,
what I'm
they
saying.
Didn't even know. They didn't even know.
It wasn't her choice to not get up there and be like, listen, I'm having voice spasms for the past 17 years and I'm losing my balance and this is what's going on. And,
Right.
you know, she had people telling her, I'm sure, don't do that yet. We need to figure this out.
Yeah. And then we see her, she goes to her warehouse where she's got all of her costumes and she's got the toys of her children and just things, mementos that she's collected over the years. And you can see like,
it was like my basement on steroids.
Is that where the shoe closet was? Because that shoe closet sent me.
The shoe closet is in her house.
That was in her house.
But
that was some compound, like some beautiful. That's in Vegas, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, yes,
beautiful.
Yes,
beautiful.
I love in the warehouse how she had her like pictures of her kids.
Yeah. Did you see those gaming chairs her kids had?
Oh my gosh, I was dying. I was like, oh boy, I wish I played video games looking at that.
Exactly. Yes.
Sick setup.
And she was like, I just wanted, it was so relatable where she went in to say goodbye to her son. She's like, I have to go now. I don't know when I'll be back. I just wanted to say goodbye. And he's like in the middle of a game and he's like looking at her like, I'm in a game.
Right.
Like as if any one of our kids would say to us.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And even when she was in the warehouse, she's like, she'll pick up a shoe, like, and she knows exactly what brand the shoe is. And
yes.
And then she's talking about she wears the shoes don't wear her.
Yeah, I thought that.
So she would wear shoes that she was like crumpling up her toes in that didn't even fit her because they were so fabulous.
She said 6 to 10, give it to me and I'll make it work.
I'll make it work.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And perform in them. It's not just make it work. It's really make it work.
Yes.
Really make it work. And I will tell you, that's one of the things I remember about seeing her on stage is she is literally like performing on this whole big stage. She's running on the stage.
Yeah.
And then there's parts where she's like sitting on the end of the stage and we're like as close as you and I. Like, well, I mean, I had good seats, but she's just it's very intimate. You feel like even though you're in this big theater and she's got this big stage, you feel like she's singing to you.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, she's a true performer.
For sure.
Yeah.
She really is. She really is.
Yeah.
What else do I have?
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, it's
but
okay.
Did the Deadpool thing in the middle of it throw you off?
It certainly did.
Okay, because what happened was I'm watching this and then Joe and Kylie came in and all of a sudden I hear Ryan Reynolds' voice and he's in the Deadpool and I'm like, I definitely must have missed something. So I rewound. I didn't miss anything.
No.
It was just all of a sudden she was on stage and he was there telling her that she had to redo it because it was too good.
No, I guess she was in Deadpool.
He must have been.
I never saw Deadpool. I had no desire to see Deadpool, but
no, I like Ryan Reynolds, but I can't sit through that.
Yeah, so I was very surprised to see that as well. I was like, "What's that all about?"
Okay,
glad
it wasn't just me because I rewound it. I mean, I had a couple of tequilas, but not that many.
I love how she said, "If you want to get there fast, be by yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to get there."
I forget the quote, but that's what she's. If you want to get there quickly,
if you want to get there,
go alone.
Go alone, and if you want to get there,
like the right way, or
whatever, all the way or something, go with everybody that you're with.
Yeah.
So I
like have your team with you.
Yeah, I thought that was very tough.
I missed that part.
Yeah, we're not doing the quote any justice, by the way. It was a good quote, though.
So I wrote down that her twins' names are Eddie and Nelson, and I thought it was really cute when they were making the video for their butler.
Yes.
I found this also endearing. They have the coconut faces that they make while they're making this video, and there's all the hair all over the floor. And then when they're done making the video, Celine gets up and gets the vacuum and vacuums up the mess. And I was like, she's just like me, because I would be doing the same thing.
Right. She was feeding the dogs.
Yep.
All the stuff that you think, well, you don't have somebody to do that, but she just seems like she's very, very down to earth.
Yeah, and then we see the butler later on, and he's making them milkshakes.
Yeah. Yes.
And you could see he's part of the family. He's part of the family, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Did you guys see the clip of her doing the impression of Sia?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy cow, that was spot on. At first, I was like, I don't think she knows who Sia is.
Oh no,
and then she just like nailed it. I'm like, oh, yep, she's got it. She knows who Sia is. Her boys were very young when her husband passed.
Yeah, they were young.
I did not realize that. I know he was a lot older than her.
Yes.
Was he her manager?
He was her manager.
Okay.
He was her manager.
Okay.
So that whole situation to me is it's very sticky. She never had anybody in her life romantically besides him.
How old was she when she... see, that's what I mean. I want to know their
12.
love story.
She was 12.
When she met him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was married to his second wife.
He was.
A lady named Anne.
Okay.
He had children.
Okay.
I think he had 2 children with his second wife, 1 with the first. His wife, Anne, was also somebody that he took on her career. But she groomed
Celine. Oh.
Told her how to do her hair. Told her,
Okay.
It was...
It's sticky.
I see
the stickiness.
It was sticky and weird, and not that I don't think that they had a love story. I think that they did, but I don't think there was any way that they could not have had a love story.
Right.
It was just, he, from all accounts of everything that I read, he was kind of domineering and controlling. So I think that they got along great because she never knew anything.
She was so young. She didn't know any different yet.
And
I mean, she clearly loved him. You saw her on stage after he passed trying to sing All By Myself, and she just can't.
Right.
So, you felt that.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not saying that it wasn't real.
Of course.
Just saying it was sticky.
He clearly had a history of that kind of stuff, but,
Right.
I'm sure they loved each other. But,
she also talked about her mom, they didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah,
and
carrot pie.
Yeah, the carrot pie. Her mom goes in the kitchen and she gets out the flour and she starts making something, and then she has the carrot pie, and her mom told her this. She didn't even realize this. I mean, she knew she was eating the carrot pie, but she didn't know that for her mom it was something like, oh my gosh, I hope the kids don't say anything.
Yeah.
And thank
they
God.
They were all like, this is amazing.
This is great. We love it.
She must have been a good cook.
Absolutely.
If you're a good cook, you can turn
fit
anything into something good.
Yep.
And then I don't know if you caught this, that the necklace that she was wearing that she got from her husband, it was originally owned by Marie Callas, one of the the best opera singers in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought,
didn't see that.
Yeah, I figured you would.
I'm a jewelry girl.
Yeah, I know.
How about that carpool karaoke through the...
Oh my God, I love...
What's his name?
James Corden. I love that.
That was
at the Bellagio fountain.
I mean, just imagine just standing there and then all of a sudden Celine... I mean, unless they knew beforehand, but I feel...
It seems the type of place where they just spring
something happens, yeah. And then she drops the necklace. That was good. That was good. Really good.
That was good. So this is where she talks about it, where she was taking 80 to 90 milligrams of Valium every day.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of Valium. And she said, I could have died.
Yes.
But at that point, they didn't really know even what was wrong with her. They were just doing that because they were trying to, she was having trouble swallowing. So they were trying to relax her muscles so that she could swallow. And they were worried about her breathing.
So it does say that medications are sedatives, muscle relaxants, and steroids. So they weren't on the wrong track with the Valium, but who knows about the dosage.
No, the dosage was definitely too high.
Yeah.
It was definitely too high.
That seizure at the end, though, like you said,
Yeah,
that was
how do you not cry?
And for her to put that out there like that, she's just a very brave woman for putting that out there and hoping to bring awareness.
Yeah, so she was very brave for showing everything that she showed.
Yeah.
That whole spasm thing. And I was wondering what those 2 shots were that they gave her, the nasal spray, if that was the Valium that they were giving her, or it was something to, it was some sort of muscle relaxer, because I heard him say that, and then they were on the phone with the doctor to get clarification as to what to do.
Well, I would imagine if they were going to have somebody to give her an injection of Valium, you would have to have like an LPN or an RN there. So maybe that's why they're doing, a lot of things they do with nasal now.
And they did say if the second one doesn't work, we'll give it this amount of time. I don't know if he said 10 minutes.
I think it was 10 minutes.
We'll call
And
911.
then we'll call 911.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, but that's got to
How
be so
scary.
scary for her.
And for all of them.
Yeah.
Like, this is Celine Dion, and she's in your care.
Right.
But they did seem very sweet.
They were awesome.
For sure.
I can't imagine if her sons have seen this happen.
I was thinking
how
the
scary is
same
that?
thing.
I mean, I'm sure
watching her have that seizure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure obviously they've probably seen the documentary at this point, but I mean, to actually witness it in real life,
Is another thing. Yeah.
Very scary.
Very scary. Yes.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, she's a very brave woman. And you were saying something about some kind of immunotherapy?
Yeah, you see where she's getting an immunotherapy treatment, like per IV, in the documentary. And that's kind of listed as one of the
treatments
for that, for that disease.
They use that immunotherapy in a lot of different ways.
Immunotherapy.
Because I know, we have a friend who gets it for cancer treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to that, I just want to put out a public thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus, because our friend is doing very, very, very well.
Yes.
And we will continue to
great
pray.
Text.
Oh, awesome.
Because prayers do work, people.
Yep.
Yes, they do.
Work.
They definitely do work.
Yeah.
They do work.
That's right.
Because our friend is doing well.
Yep.
And it was at a point where we were like,
And that's from immunotherapy.
And chemo,
but
whatever. I think I do think they call it a cocktail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever cocktail they're using is working.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Whatever they're doing is working. So thanks be to God. Is all.
Yes.
Amen.
So as she's coming out of it, they tell her, that's because she's overstimulated from the singing, and she says how she gets embarrassed when it happens, when she goes into crisis, which I guess is understandable. I would be embarrassed too, but obviously there's nothing she can do about it.
No.
But I think so much of her persona is just built into just being this very public person. And when you're a public person like that, I mean, you don't put out there when you're puking or blowing your nose or,
right,
fart in the kitchen like Eric did the other day. It was great.
I guess we'll be editing that out.
No, we won't.
Oh, listen, let it roll. Because Eric also recorded me snoring the other night and showed Lori the recording.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And put.
But I want to tell you, to me, I took it as a compliment that I was at my friend's house.
He was that comfortable.
And her husband was comfortable enough to just let one rip.
Oh, okay.
And Joe was that comfortable to come in and scare the shit out of us.
Yes.
Nice.
Kelly's son scared us so bad, and I said, now look, Joe, we're old. We'll piss ourselves. Don't do that. Don't do it.
And quite honestly, he didn't even do anything that bad. It just scared the shit out of
the room
because we're fucking old. It just scared the shit out of us.
He walked in very quietly and screamed very loudly.
Yeah, that's what he did.
And he said, well, you need to pay more attention. I said, well, we're old and we're deaf. I don't know what to tell you.
You need to be more aware of your surroundings.
Aware of your surroundings.
Oh my God, my kids say that all the time.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
great.
enough already. Enough
Mhm.
already.
My surroundings are I'm home, asshole, and I
Right.
should be comfortable in my own house.
Without you screaming.
100%.
Yeah.
And then after she comes out of that seizure, she sings one more song. And it's Gotta Be Me. And she sings it with her trainer. And, that was kind of triumphant.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, you're not going to, even though singing does this to me, you're not going to take that away from me. I'm still going to sing one more song.
Yes.
And Gotta Be Me. And she also says that she still wants to dance and sing because that's just who she is.
Sure. And listen, how old is she? She's not that old.
She's our age, I think.
Yeah, I mean, for crying out loud, for her.
When I say ours, I mean mine and Lori's, not yours.
Well, not yours.
I'm
We're
not
older.
that far behind
Yeah.
you. But
Suck,
I
Kelly.
mean, for crying out loud, like for your whole career to come to a screeching halt, and you're in your 50s, like,
Right.
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's a brave soul, and we're keeping her in our prayers too because,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
like you said, they work.
Yes,
Yes,
they do.
definitely
work.
work.
Was she doing cameos at one point? Is that what she was
I
doing?
thought so.
Really?
Because she,
Yeah,
because
because
she
she was-
said, "So somebody happy 100th birthday."
Yeah.
I saw that. You think that was a cameo?
I mean,
Yeah.
that's how
I
that's
don't
what I thought.
I don't think that was a cameo.
Well, I think it's a very good idea if that is what she's doing. She's got to make money somehow,
She doesn't
being
need
laid
money.
up.
I doubt she needs
doesn't need
money.
money.
That's true. She
She does not need
But
money.
could you imagine her cameos are probably $500?
They've got it.
I don't think I don't know.
Listen, we're gonna look it up. People
I
at
have to
home.
see. Let's look that up.
Yeah,
I would like a cameo.
I
from
was
her.
just gonna say.
There
My
you go.
birthday's coming.
Yeah,
Not
birthday.
$500.
All right, I have a question.
Okay.
Would you rather be homeless or in prison?
Homeless.
Yeah, I think homeless
homeless?
too. I
Yeah.
think homeless too, just because I don't.
You're being controlled.
Jail scares me.
Yeah, and you're not in control in jail.
Right.
Me.
And there are good people out there who give food, restaurant owners who give you food.
If I'm homeless, I'm coming to your house.
All right. Me too. Me too. I'm going to be homeless because I'm going to come to your house.
There you go.
Good call. Good caveat. Good caveat.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather have front row tickets to a musician you never heard of or listen to your favorite band perform from the parking lot? Would you rather hear Celine Dion perform in the parking lot or have front row tickets to somebody that you've
Motley
never heard
Crue.
of?
I would take front row tickets to somebody I never heard. Maybe it's somebody I like. It'd be a new experience.
There you go.
Yeah, I think I'd do the same.
Yeah, I'm open to new experiences.
Oh, how about this? Whew. Would you rather give birth to conjoined twins or to sextuplets?
Sextuplets.
Me too.
Me
going
too.
with that.
Me too.
Yeah.
But there better be a fucking army behind me helping me because
yeah.
I could barely handle one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there would be.
Yeah.
There would be.
All right, one more. Would you rather dumpster dive for food or ask customers outside a restaurant to buy you a meal?
I'll ask for a meal.
I'm asking for a meal.
Yeah, I'll ask for a meal, but I will tell you that
Dumpster dive.
if I was really poor, I would have no problem dumpster diving, and I would have no problem working at a restaurant if I was really poor and eating people's leftovers. I don't care.
Okay. Well, my sister's dumpster diving right now, currently.
Oh,
And
well, there you
not
go.
for food, but for pavers. So
It's very
This is
smart.
interesting.
they just bought a new house
Mm-hmm.
and they have a pavers driveway, and the driveway is not big enough for, like, once you get out of the car, you're like in the rocks or the landscaping. So they want to make the driveway bigger, and the builder wouldn't make it bigger, but you can get it done afterwards. So they're still building in this development. So there's all these extra pavers that they're throwing
Oh,
out
hell
in
yeah.
the dumpster. So she wants to make her driveway bigger, and she wants to make her back patio bigger. So every day, her and my mother, she
That's
literally
great
she
stuff.
literally
I can't.
climbs in the dumpster, because I saw a picture of her in the dumpster with these pavers. I was like, "How are you getting in the dumpster?" She goes,
Why
"Well,
are they putting the pavers in the dumpster? This is such a waste of resources.
it's such a waste."
You would not believe the things that people.
Oh, listen, we had this conversation.
She said there was like brand new molding in there and
Mhm.
stuff.
For
She
sure.
wanted to take it. My mother's like, "No, we're not taking that." She's like, "There was bags of grout."
Oh yeah.
She's like, "I couldn't lift them."
Before we did our kitchen, I just told Lori this. My father would call us and be like, "Listen, I just installed, put a new refrigerator in some house and took out their old one, and their old one's nicer than the one you got." I'm like, "Drop it off."
I'll take it. Yeah.
People are ridiculous.
Mhm.
I have a news flash for you.
What?
You're going to get a new refrigerator?
My husband actually said to me today, "Do you want to go get a new fridge?"
This washer dryer situation has
I know,
really
it's blossomed.
stirred something in Jamie.
It's blossomed.
Wow.
I said, "No, not yet. I want to."
Wait, what?
I know. That's what he said.
You.
That's what he said.
Exactly.
That's what he
You're
said.
not going to get that offer again. For
Oh, I
Christ's
will
sake.
get-
The guy's on
I will.
vacation this week.
I will get you.
Okay.
Because I have a handyman coming. I want to see if I want to move my fridge from where it is to a new spot. And then then I
Where?
could get a different one.
Oh, you get a bigger one?
Well, I could get a different one than the one I have now. Like I don't want to get one and then it opens the wrong way for where I want to put it in. Yada, yada.
Well, yeah, you got to measure all
You
that
know.
shit. Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, honey,
And,
that's so nice." but wait.
our houses were built much more long ago than yours. And the way our original cabinets are, they were meant for smaller refrigerators
Right.
that aren't necessarily made anymore.
Right.
So you do have to,
So I want
you would have to maneuver something.
I just want to make sure all my stuff's together. But
Yes.
I thought that was a very impressive.
Amazing.
That is impressive.
Yeah. Damn.
So-
2024. It's your year, Laura.
I'm telling you. So now I'm a Celine Dion fan.
Me
Good.
too. I mean, like I said, I was listening to
I
the
always
songs
liked
and I'm
her.
like, oh, I know like all of these. Although I don't think All By Myself was hers because I think that's an old song that many, many people have redone. But, what was the one? I'm Your Lady.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely her.
Love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that she's not a top-notch singer. and performer.
Incredibly talented.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So we wish her the best of luck.
Yeah,
and we
for
will continue
sure.
to pray for her.
Yes.
sure.
And to our listeners, please let us know what else you'd like us to talk about next week or the week after. If there's some movie or some other documentary you guys are interested in, send us a message. DM us.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
Patty, we know you're listening.
Yeah, let us know.
We love you and let us know what you want us to talk about.
There is
And how about you, Andrew? You must have some kind of good idea.
There is a Billie Eilish documentary that I did watch, which was very good, and I would watch it again.
Okay.
And I was very surprised because I didn't really know anything about her. But
I honestly
I'm not a
haven't watched the Paris Hilton thing yet.
I watched that. I'll watch that again too.
I might have to watch that and let's talk about that. Not her reality show. 'Cause
No,
I don't want to see her mother.
No, the documentary's on YouTube though. It's
Yeah.
a YouTube doc. It's pretty long, I think, but I'd watch that again.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
All right.
Because I wasn't always a fan of Paris Hilton, but I understand her story is a bit sad.
It is. It's more complicated than people think.
It's
Right.
very complicated.
And you know what? That's the thing about a lot of people. Like you see their exterior and you think that everything is what you see and it's really not. And that's why, honestly, I really love these documentaries. I really enjoy them.
I do too.
Because I'm like, yeah, that's not what I was thinking, you know? And you try not to judge a book by its cover, but kind of we do
It's
that.
human nature.
Yeah, it is human nature.
You only have what's out there, so unless you dig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
and I'm Lori.
Bye.